And I don't give a damn if I get fined because that shit cheap. And I am tired of this shit. Because I've been nice and I've been humble with it, but I am tired of this shit.
Back a little bit. You can't want to be the villain. You can't pride yourself in being the villain, and then you lose, and all of a sudden.
When Stephen A. Smith sets his sights on you, you know you're in trouble. But what happened just 1 minute ago wasn't just another hot take from ESPN's loudest voice. It was a complete...
Clearly, it's something that a lot of people can't take. So if it's something that you can't take, maybe you shouldn't expose yourself to the backlash.
Obliteration of Angel Reese's entire career trajectory. And folks, this isn't about basketball anymore. This is about a young woman who had the world in her hands.
What's not debatable is the fact that Caitlin Clark has handled her branding extremely well. Whereas with Angel Reese, sometimes you find yourself scratching your head and wondering what the hell she's doing. Like that photo right there.
And somehow managed to fumble it all away in the most spectacular fashion imaginable. Picture this. You're a rising star in the WNBA. You've got monster stats, you're making headlines, and major brands are circling like sharks ready to throw millions at you. Then, in what can only be described as career suicide, you decide to slap a clipboard out of a team executive's hands on national television. Curse out referees in press conferences, and turn your social media into a daily drama series.
It's not about black and white. It's about that white player and that black player. Why? Because of the history that they had before they came to the WNBA.
Welcome to the Angel Reese story, where talent meets self-destruction in the most painful way possible. Stephen A. didn't hold back when he called Angel Reese the WNBA's biggest walking headache. And honestly, after everything that's unfolded this season, it's hard to argue with that assessment. This is the same man who's witnessed every sports disaster under the sun, from championship meltdowns to career-ending controversies, and he's crowning Angel Reese as America's next jealous teammate. That's not a title you earn for clutch performances or leading...
Stink. They stink. I don't really know why they stink, because I liked a lot of these players.
...your team to victory. That's the badge of honor you get for public tantrums, team embarrassment, and ensuring every single headline about you screams dysfunction. But let's rewind and understand how we got here, because this story starts with promise and ends with one of the most preventable career implosions in recent WNBA history. Angel Reese came into this league with legitimate superstar potential. She had the college...
Yes, but that has to be fixed, and I don't give a damn if I get fined because that's cheap, and I am tired of this because I've been nice and I've been humble with it, but I am tired of it.
Pedigree, the athletic ability, and most importantly, she had a built-in rivalry with Caitlin Clark that could have elevated both players and the entire league. Instead of embracing that dynamic and riding the wave of increased attention, she chose a different path, one that would ultimately lead to Stephen A. Smith using her as a cautionary tale for an entire generation of athletes. The numbers don't lie, and they paint a brutal picture of what's happening in Chicago. The Sky are sitting at 5-13, which isn't just bad, it's second worst in the league bad.
If Angel Reese had never waved her hand in her face when LSU was beating Iowa for in the Final Four of the national championship, if that hadn't happened, Angel Reese's name might not be as big.
Kind of record that makes fans question why they're buying tickets and sponsors wonder what they're actually investing in. 7 losses in their last 10 games isn't a slump. Folks, that's a complete organizational collapse happening in real time. And while Angel Reese is putting up impressive individual numbers, her team is getting demolished week after week, turning her stat stuffing into nothing more than Instagram content for a losing franchise. Here's where it gets really ugly. The sponsors are starting to notice. When you're a professional athlete, your behavior off the court matters just as much as your performance on it. And Angel Reese seems to have missed that memo entirely. Brands aren't just looking at your rebounding numbers or scoring average. They're watching your tantrums, your social media meltdowns, and your public disrespect of team officials. They're asking themselves a very simple question. Do we really want our company logo associated with this circus? And increasingly, the answer is becoming a resounding no. The turning point came in what can only be described...
criticized. Or she is wrong. What I'm saying is, by pulling it down, clearly you felt there was something wrong.
As the clipboard slap heard around the WNBA. Picture the scene. Final minute against the Washington Mystics. Game tied at 77-77, and tensions are running high. After a controversial sequence involving missed free throws and a crucial rebound, the Sky find themselves trailing and decide to challenge a foul call. During the timeout, and Crosby, the team's VP of basketball operations, a respected figure throughout the league, approaches with her clipboard, ready to discuss strategy and help her team try to steal a
Fought
victory.
really hard. It's tough when you talk to officials and I ask them, hey, we only shot 2 free throws. We only went to the free throw line twice up into the fourth quarter, and she tells me it's not her job. So I know it's frustrating.
What happens next is where Angel Reese's season, and potentially her career, takes a devastating turn. Instead of listening to the guidance, instead of showing leadership in a crucial moment, she does the unthinkable. She smacks the clipboard right out of Crosby's hands on the court in front of the cameras for the entire basketball world to see. This isn't competitive fire. This is a toddler throwing a tantrum because their juice box wasn't cold enough. And just when you think she might show some maturity...
Is she going to play this season? Probably not. Probably not. Like, you're not going to risk someone for a back injury to come back when they're not going to make the playoffs. You're not going to do that. I'm going to be honest. Like,
and apologize for the disrespectful display. She doubles down on social media, posting, "Those refs were pissing me off," like the whole incident was some kind of joke. Stephen A. Smith called this moment the perfect metaphor for her entire career trajectory, and he's absolutely right. It's destructive, disrespectful, and completely self-sabotaging. But here's the thing that makes it even worse.
Either waiting for the, for the WNBA draft, maybe they're just going to say, you know what, we're going to go and...
This wasn't an isolated incident. Less than 48 hours before the clipboard disaster, Angel Reese had already gone scorched earth on WNBA referees in a post-game press conference, dropping F-bombs and turning what should have been a routine basketball discussion into her personal therapy session. When you're already under the microscope, every move you make counts double, and she was stacked...
The backlash. Clearly, it's something that a lot of people can't take. So if it's something that you can't take, maybe you shouldn't expose yourself to the backlash and provoking the backlash.
Career-damaging mistakes, like she was building a Jenga tower destined to collapse. The social media response to these incidents reveals everything you need to know about Angel Reese's mindset right now. Instead of taking responsibility, instead of showing growth and maturity, she's treating her professional career like it's a reality TV show where drama equals ratings. Crying emojis, shrug emojis, casual profanity. Her entire online persona screams, "I don't care what you think."
That's what we want, like, we said no.
That's a possibility.
Then are you willing to admit how stupid it was for y'all not to go all in?
That attitude might play cute when you're in college and winning championships. But in the professional world, your image is literally your paycheck. And she's been lighting hers on fire week after week. Stephen A. Smith identified the core problem when he talked about trend-chasing controversy. Angel Reese isn't chasing wins. She's chasing headlines, and not the good kind.
Ariel, I know we belong also.
Thank you.
Instead of building a brand around leadership, performance, and team success, she's constructed her entire public identity around chaos, petty drama, and manufactured beef. This is how you systematically alienate your teammates, your coaching staff, your sponsors, and even the fans who used to ride for you. This is how you transform from a rising star into a walking cautionary tale. But perhaps the most damaging aspect of...
She's a beautiful young lady. And there's a lot of beautiful young ladies in the WNBA. But when you do that, you can't come down the line and complain about being objectified.
Angel Reese's approach this season is how she's handled the Caitlin Clark phenomenon. The numbers are staggering and impossible to ignore. Games with Caitlin Clark average 1.178 million viewers, while games without her plummet to just 394,000. That's not a small dip. That's a 3 times decrease that demonstrates just how much Clark has become the heartbeat of the league's popularity. When Clark's on the court, ticket prices jump, merchandise flies off shelves, and social media engagement explodes like it's the Super Bowl. Any smart competitor would recognize this as an incredible opportunity. If the league grows, everyone benefits. More viewers mean better TV.
And when you do stuff like that, and you're drawing attention to yourself because of that, that can be problematic.
higher salaries, increased sponsorship money, and greater visibility for all players. But instead of finding ways to collaborate with or complement Clark's star power, Angel Reese has spent her time trying to body slam her rival rather than figuring out how to ride the wave of momentum Clark brings to women's basketball. As Stephen A. put it perfectly, instead of protecting the golden goose, she's been plucking its feathers. The missed opportunities are staggering when you really think about it. Angel Reese is genuinely talented, she's marketable, and she had every chance to turn this season into a launching pad for her career and her team's success. Instead, she's handed her critics the easiest ammunition they've ever had and given...
For even more attention could have come and y'all could have reaped the benefits. Higher television ratings, higher attendance figures. Ladies and gentlemen, that doesn't come courtesy of a league. It comes courtesy of the players that play in the league. And in her case, she was the most popular, which means she could have helped your bottom line, which means you should have seen that.
Sports talk shows across the country, free content every single week. She's proven Stephen A. Smith's point better than he ever could have himself. She's not just a problem for opposing teams. She's become a problem for her own organization, her own league, and most tragically, herself. The no-show incident against the Indiana Fever added another layer to this ongoing disaster. While the official explanation cited back injury and rest, the timing and context told a different story. This was the same arena she had previously painted as dangerous, based on...
Obviously, we've had up and down games, but we're all-stars. And we're going to continue to prove it. Obviously, this is the last week for All-Star voting. Camilla, she should be All-Star. It's her first year. She could have got it last year with injury, but she should be an All-Star.
Turned out to be nothing more than an odd sound in the crowd, possibly a fan's yodel that she amplified into some grand conspiracy against her. When she didn't show up for that game, people started connecting dots and wondering if this was really about injury management or something much more personal. Here's what makes it even more painful. Chicago's record against Indiana over the past 2 years is a brutal 1-7, and 2 of those losses happened with Angel Reese actually in the lineup. So this wasn't a case where her absence cost them a winnable game. The Fever have been owning the sky regardless of...
In doing the things that she has done, let's face reality. She's going to be attached to Caitlin Clark to some degree.
Who's on the court. It just added another chapter to the narrative of a player who seems more comfortable creating drama than creating victories. Stephen A. Smith's final assessment cuts right to the heart of the matter with surgical precision. He's not just critiquing one player's bad season. He's issuing a warning to an entire generation of athletes about what happens when talent isn't matched with discipline and professionalism. His message is crystal clear. Get on board with the direction this league is heading, or get left behind by the train that's already moving. The WNBA is experiencing a golden moment right now, with unprecedented attention and a legitimate...
Chicago Sky, like, it's just been an absolute disaster for them. I don't think...
Superstar in Caitlin Clark, who's drawing new fans and national media coverage that the league has never seen before. This should be a rising tide that lifts all boats. But Angel Reese isn't even at the harbor. She's out in the middle of the ocean, creating her own storms while everyone else is trying to navigate toward success. What makes this story so frustrating is how completely preventable all of this has been. Angel Reese didn't lose sponsorship deals because she couldn't play basketball. She lost them because she couldn't handle the business side of being a professional athlete. She's become known as a walking headline, but for all the wrong reasons. Her news coverage isn't about triple-doubles or clutch performances. It's about tantrums, ejections, referee disputes, and social media controversies. She's turned herself into everything except what she was supposed to be, a basketball player who wins games. The principle Stephen A. Smith laid out is one that every young athlete needs to understand. Talent without discipline isn't an asset, it's a liability.
Basketball player, refs got it right. Move on.
Angel Reese is providing a masterclass in how quickly hype can transform into headache, how rapidly potential can turn into disappointment, and how a rising star can become the exact example coaches use to warn the next generation about wasting their opportunities. As we watch this saga continue to unfold, one thing has become abundantly clear. Angel Reese had everything she needed to succeed at the highest level.
Because she deleted her Instagram, and that's the most important part about all of this, because clearly she's uncomfortable with some of the backlash that she's getting. because she did.
And she systematically destroyed it all through a series of choices that prioritized drama over victory, controversy over championship pursuit, and personal grudges over professional growth. Stephen A. Smith didn't just destroy Angel Reese in his latest commentary. He simply held up a mirror and showed the world what she had already done to herself.